Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Rainbow Tarot UK. In today's reading we'll be doing, are you meant to be together? What does the future hold? As usual, we've got our three piles. We've got pile number one, this card here that says understanding with the red jasper stone. We've got pile number two that says limbo with blue lace agate. And then we've got pile number three, which says abundance, and we have the tiger's eye. So as usual, just use your intuition, go for the pile that's calling to you. That's probably got the messages for you. There might be more than one pile. Remember, it's always a general reading. Yeah, lots of people watch it, so not every message may not resonate with you, but to be okay with that. Maybe it's another pile, maybe it's another reading, and it's timeless. That's good for whenever you're finding it. But other than that, I will see you in your reading. Bye for now. Hi pile number one, welcome to your reading. I hope everyone is doing well. I hope you're all doing good. You chose to come into our reading on this card that says understanding, and at the bottom it says happy couples understand each other. So we'll see how that plays out in your reading. You also came in with the red jasper here. So I'm just going to put that there. And today's reading, of course, is, are you meant to be together? What does the future hold? So what we're going to do is I'm going to lay out some cards just to get a sense of what the general energy of the connection is, and then it gives you a good chance to know whether this is the right path for you. And then we're going to lay out some cards about, what's going to happen, what is likely to happen. Now, obviously, you make a decision about whether you want to be in a situation or not. You know your situation better than I do. I'm just hopefully going to lay some cards and give you some insight into what's around currently in the energy and what's coming up for you. And then you make your own decision about whether it's something that you want to be in or not, or whether you feel it's something that's meant to be or not. But what we're doing today is hopefully just laying out some cards to give you some insight into that situation. But anyway, let's get cracking here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another oracle card here, which is the Moonology deck. So let's get a general idea of pile number one and their person. Let's have a general idea. Are they meant to be together? What's the general feel in the connection? Are they meant to be together? So let's have this one here. Bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. Now I'm just guessing that with understanding and with this card here, that this could be, you might be in a situation where you're with somebody and you might be going through a bit of a rocky patch or a bit of a difficult time, because you've got understanding and you've got bring love into the situation. A new moon in Aquarius, well, new moon is always about wiping the slate clean, beginning again. Aquarius is often, I think, a sign of, because it's an air sign actually as well, and air signs are all about communication. So I'm just sensing that there needs to be some communication, maybe some communication, some listening, some understanding, because it says happy couples understand each other. So you might be going through a bit of a rocky patch. There might be, maybe there's some separation for some of you in this situation. So that might be what's generally going on in the energy currently. Let's see what else we've got. I might just have one more oracle card. We'll see. Is pile number one and their person meant to be together? What's the general energy? Are they meant to be together? What's their general energy? I feel like this one. Oh, two. I didn't mean to have two, but I've got two. I've got speak your truth. So again, about this kind of needing to speak your truth, speak, understand, communicate in some way. So there needs to be, I think there's a lot of emphasis here on communication in this situation. And then we've got guidance is golden. So maybe there's a need to, I feel like with this card, maybe there's a need to go inward and listen to your inner guidance. That's something about that going on. Now, interestingly, this card is card number 24 and this card is card number 42. Now, both of those add up to 6. Well, 6 is, interestingly, about restored peace, calm, harmony, contentment, cooperation, love, marriage, reconciliation. So there could be, for some of you, also because we've got bring love into the situation. So I'm feeling like for some of you, you might be in separation or there might be some issues going on in this situation. and you're wondering about whether you are actually meant to be together. What I would say from these cards is that there's definitely a feeling of renewal, reconciliation, wanting to bring it back, wanting to bring it back, wanting to make it work. But there has to be some, almost like some give and take, some understanding, some communicating truthfully, some going inward and gaining some inner guidance. But it definitely feels to me like if you are in separation or you're going through a rocky patch, that there is definitely room for this to improve and get better and be better, and almost have a new beginning, a new start. But it will take some work, and you both need to work at it and understand each other and communicate better. So that's what's off the bat what I'm getting. So that's off to, quite a pretty good start there. Let's see now. So let's get some more cards on what the general energy is between pile number 1 and their person. What is the general energy? What's going on between pile number 1 and their person right now? So we have the 10 of Pentacles, we have the 7 of Wands. What's going on between pile number 1 and their person? We have 4 of Swords, and we have the Moon. Right, okay. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So I do feel that for some of you, this might be that some of you are in separation from each other, and you're wondering, is there, are you meant to be together? What's the future going to hold? I think at the moment, like, you do definitely, I feel like this is either a situation which was you were in a long-standing relationship with this person, or you are in a long-standing relationship with this person, but you're going through a bit of a difficult patch. I think that's what's going on here. Maybe going through a difficult patch, or you are in separation with the Moon and the 4 of Swords here. So, but definitely with the 10 of Pentacles here, what I would say is that this relationship has the potential to be really settled and happy and committed, because this is a card of kind of commitment, really, the 10 of Pentacles. It's about everyone, all the family, all the generations of the family being together, everyone being settled, everyone being happy, things being, really, really good on a material level and in the kind of 3D world. So it's like you've got the house, the car, the kids, everything. So I think this situation was like that, or it certainly has the potential to be like that. So either you're in a situation which is that you are in a settled relationship, or you're in a long-term relationship, or you're in this kind of relationship, or you both see it as the potential. There's huge potential for it to be like that. Because we also have the overriding energy as the Knight of Pentacles. Well, the Knight of Pentacles is all about moving slowly towards building something up, building something concrete. It's the slowest moving Knight in the deck, so it's not a quick movement. So if you're in separation from this person, I feel like they want to move back towards you. They want to reconcile. I seem to be getting a bit tongue-tied. I don't know if somebody in this situation is a little bit tongue-tied at the moment. They're not really expressing themselves very well, possibly, but with the Knight of Pentacles here, I feel like the overriding energy is that there is a movement back. So I sense if it's separation, there's definitely a feeling of kind of reconciliation in the air, the overriding energy of coming back together. But there's something about, and this Knight of Pentacles, like, it's thinking and writing something down in their book. So I feel like if you are in a period of separation, they are thinking long and hard about a plan, a way of being able to move back towards the situation slowly. If you're in separation from them, but if you are just going through a rough patch and you're wondering, look, should I stay in this? Are we meant to actually be together? Because with the 4 of Swords and the Moon, when the Moon can talk about confusion, it can talk about doubts, it can talk about fears, it can sometimes talk about deception in some way. The 4 of Swords is exhaustion, is tired, is somebody who's tired, exhausted, needing a break. So it might be that if you are going through a bit of a rocky patch here, that you're needing a break, you're needing to retreat, you're needing to replenish. Maybe you have retreated, maybe you do need a rest, maybe it has been very stressful. Because with the 7 of Wands, that is also a card of sort of challenge, really. And it could be that with somebody here, particularly in the situation, is feeling kind of very challenged by all these people coming at them at once. So maybe you or your person is maybe feeling quite challenged. They may be feeling a bit sort of startled by it all, a bit kind of not really sure what to do. Maybe it's come out of the blue. Maybe you're in a settled situation with this person. It's kind of come out of the blue, these challenges, that's led to this feeling of needing to retreat, this feeling of needing to be separate. But there is definitely, I think, within the energy and with all these cards, of renewal, of reconciliation, of bringing it back. It may be as well that you are in a bit of you're asking about a little bit of a clandestine situation or a little bit of a secret situation with the moon here, because with the moon things are hidden, they are underneath the surface, they're not out in the open. So it could be, because with something like, are you meant to be together, that could relate to people that are together, that could relate to people that are in separation, that could relate to crushes, that could relate to, third-party situations. So it could relate to lots of different types of situations. So I'm sensing that for some of you, you might be in a little bit of a secret situation, or a situation that's not out in the open, but you are, you're wondering whether you are meant to be together. What I feel is with the Ten of Pentacles and with the Knight of Pentacles, there is a desire to bring this into a happy state again, a desire to make this work, a desire to bring it to something concrete. But it relies on things, and it's interesting, you've got here the speak your truth, and then you've got the moon. The moon can often talk about deception. So I feel like the situation needs to be brought out into the light. It needs to be open and honest. There needs to be good communication. There needs to be honest and open communication, especially with Aquarius again, because that's an air sign. It's all about communicating, and maybe it's just maybe it's about for some of you whereby it's a crush situation and somebody just needs to be out in the open and honest. Maybe there's a lot of hidden feelings, things where you haven't declared what you really feel, and it's now about needing to be open and honest about that and communicate that and get rid of all the confusion, maybe the mixed messages, because that can happen in a crush or an attraction situation where you don't really know what the other person's thinking and feeling. And I feel like there's an energy here to slowly, I would underline that word, slowly bring it into the light, to slowly bring it into a more solid situation. And I feel like your person, they might be making plans, or you and your person might be making plans to enable you to do that, because Pentacles can also be about learning, and maybe there's a need that you need to kind of learn a bit more, understand each other a bit more, to be able to work each other out a bit better. But anyway, in terms of astrological signs, we have Ten of Pentacles, well, that is Virgo energy. Seven of Wands, that is Leo energy. Four of Swords, that's Libran energy. And the Moon is Pisces. Knight of Pentacles could be any of the earth signs of Capricorn, Taurus and Virgo. So there's definitely, I think, the overriding energy of this, there is definitely a desire to keep this situation going, to make this situation better, to learn from maybe things that might have gone wrong, to communicate better, to understand each other better. So that's kind of looking good. Let's have a message card here. What is a message card between pile number one and their person? What can we have here between pile number one and their person? I wish I could take back my words. So maybe something has happened here where something has been said with the Moon card here that wasn't right, or so maybe something has been said in haste that hurt someone in this situation, and now there's some regret. What else have we got here? I left you before you could leave me. So that would go with the Four of Swords and the Moon, where there's a separation in this situation. Maybe that shows some insecurities coming out, maybe for you or your person. So maybe somebody walked out of this situation. Maybe it was a happy situation. Maybe they felt challenged and they walked out of it in some way. And maybe they did that because they felt that you were going to do that, or you felt you did it because you thought they were going to do it, because of some deep sort of insecurities here, which could go with the Moon, because the Moon can sometimes talk about a kind of like an energy where somebody's feeling quite low in mood, or quite sort of lacking in confidence, or sort of having, you know, somebody being led by their shadow, their sort of shadow side, or their kind of shadow traits, really. But anyway, let's see what else we have. What else do we have? So we've got a bit of a sense of the energy, and if that doesn't resonate with you, then maybe it's another pile. But let's get a sense of what does the future hold for pile number one and their person. What does the future hold for pile number one and their person? Okay, so we have the devil here. What else have we got? We've got the Eight of Swords. We've got the Four of Pentacles. And we've got the Knight of Swords. Okay, so that's interesting. And then underneath the deck, we've got the Fool. Right, okay, so at the moment, and I think this might go with, what's underneath the Fool? We've got I think that is the Page of Swords. So I think that at the moment, in terms of, you know, what does the future hold, there is this kind of sense still of separation, still of maybe in this situation with the devil and the moon, there were things in this situation or things in this relation that might be why it's kind of come to an end here. Might be why we have to bring love into the situation, might be why there needs to be understanding, might be why there needs to speak the truth, because with the moon and the devil there might have been deception, there might have been lies, there might have been patterns that were negative patterns of behaviour, or something in the situation, either a person, you know, an event, something happened that was controlling either your person or controlling the situation in a kind of negative way. It can sometimes talk about addictions. So maybe this was a connection that was, you know, not possibly, again, working from the kind of shadow side, really, working from a shadow element. Somebody might have felt very trapped, or, you know, it makes someone feel very trapped, very unhappy, not really sure what way, you know, where to go. So underneath the Seven of Wands, where there's these challenges, somebody might be feeling quite stuck at the moment or quite challenged. So it could be that there are negatives in the situation, negative things controlling it. It's making people feel stuck, or both of you feel stuck or trapped. Somebody might be, you know, holding on tight here, because we've got the Four of Swords, which is a card of retreat. And then we've got these Four of kind of Pentacles here, which is somebody holding on tight to the kind of bare bones of something, really. So I feel like, and also with the Knight of Swords here, so with the Knight of Swords, that is a quick moving energy, really, a quick and swift moving energy. And also we have the Page of Swords. So it might have been, or certainly what does the future hold, is that I feel that they want rapid change, certainly with the Knight of Swords. And because it's kind of going into the reading, I feel like they do want quick movement, you know, back into the situation. But the situation, I think they're seeing the situation as a bit of a challenge, as a difficulty, as a something that is currently stuck, and there needs to be, you know, a real plan to try to get you out of this kind of stuckness, out of this kind of negativity, really, that may be currently causing the separation. With the Page of Swords here as being the overriding energy, there's still a curiosity about this situation, there's still a curiosity about you, they might still be checking you out. With the Fool card being the overriding energy, that is like a leap of faith. So I feel like this situation, that the future, with it being the Fool, is that it's a leap of faith to start it up again. I feel like there is a desire on your person's energy with the Knight of Pentacles, with the Fool, with the Page of Swords, where they're looking at you, checking you out, to begin this again. But it's like it would take a leap of faith, because at the moment it feels very stuck. It feels very stuck. It doesn't feel clear. So there needs to be, with the Page and the Knight of Swords, more clarity. And I think that's why we've got the whole understanding, speaking your truth. People need to speak their truth in order for this situation to change and be better. And I think because you have got the Knight of Swords, because you have got the Page of Swords, which is often about a message, because pages are about messages, so maybe there is a message of truth that is needed, or a message that's needed to be coming in. So I think in terms of the question, are you meant to be together? Well, I think that's something that you need to decide for yourself. But in terms of what does the future hold, I think that this person definitely wants kind of reconciliation here. They definitely want to speak their truth with the Knight of Swords, with the Page of Swords, but there's something in the situation which has maybe not been done from the heart. It has been done from the kind of shadow side. So there's been sort of negatives in the situation. There's been things that, you know, maybe patterns or cycles in the situation that has made somebody feel trapped within it. Somebody feeling trapped within it. I know that's you, pile number one, where you felt that this situation hasn't been healthy. There's been maybe lots of lies, lots of deception, that you with the Four of Swords here, that you really need to rest and retreat from that. Then maybe that's something that you need to do. But in terms of, you know, the Fool is the beginning of the major arcana. It does talk about a brand new cycle, a brand new opportunity. So I feel like there is a brand new opportunity for this relationship with these cards, but it would be a leap of faith, and it means that there has to be an end to this shadow aspect of it. So anything that's not right about it, any negatives in it, any triggers that sort of are triggering you and their shadow side to come out, their negative side to come out, there needs to be understanding, there needs to be speaking of truth, there needs to be love, and there needs to be a lot of healing. That's what I'm feeling in this situation, if it's going to work. Now, in terms of whether you're meant to be together, like I say, that would be your choice. But I feel from your person's point of view, there is definitely desire for you to be together, certainly. But they recognise, I think, that a lot of work needs to go into healing and to changing, really, to changing it. But let's see what else we have got here. I feel like I want to bring out one of these cards. Let's bring out one of these cards again. So please, I might ask for guidance actually. Please can we have some guidance for pile number one and their person about whether this situation is worth hanging on to? Is it meant to be together? Are they meant to be together? You know, what does the future hold for them if they are together? Trust your wisdom. So it's a bit like what I was saying before, you know, go into yourself. That might be why you have guidance is golden. It's about really trusting your intuition, trust your own wisdom in this, about whether this is something that you want to be with. Because even if you are meant to be together, you've got free will, you've got free choice. You don't have to be with that person if you don't want to. But this is trust your wisdom. And that's card number 13. Which 13 is also the card of death, which is about change and transformation, which is again what I was saying, that, you know, the situation needs to be different. There needs to be a plan to make it different, to, you know, there needs to be a lot of thought into making it different, really. But what else? And also 13 cancels down to 4, which is about laying foundations, making plans. That's interesting, isn't it? Making plans here. Security, or so maybe there was a lot of, you know, it was insecure, there was a lot of doubt, there was a lot of fears with the moon here, with the devil card here, and that was very unsettling. It made somebody feel trapped because, you know, there wasn't any proper, maybe somebody was stubborn, maybe somebody was selfish in this situation. But I feel that needs to be different. If this situation is going to move forward, I feel like it needs to be different. But I think your person does actually want that. That's my underlying feeling with all these cards. They want a new beginning where there's more truth spoken and it's more understanding. You're more understanding of each other. But let's have another one of these cards. Another message card for pile number 1 and their person. I feel you leaving me behind. So maybe you're actually leaving this person behind, or somebody feels like someone is leaving the other person behind, particularly if you're in separation with the Four of Swords here and the Moon. That might be why we have the Knight of Swords here, because it feels to me like this person wants to rush back in quickly, speedily, in some way back into the situation, with the Fool here maybe, to take that leap of faith, really. I'm going to have one more card here for you, pile number 1, and then I think I'm going to leave it there. Please can we have one more message card for pile number 1 and their person. Or 2 seem to want to come out. I know I said 1, but I still like one poking out. Let's see what these say. So this one says, make the effort. Okay, so somebody's here wanting to make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. And that would go with all these cards of wanting to bring love into the situation, of wanting to try again. And then this one is forgiving and learning. So maybe there's been a lot of learning, because if it's like a karmic type connection, or I feel like there might have been because with all this kind of cards of the Moon and the Devil and the Eight of all these cards, cards pertain to kind of like the shadow side of ourselves, and that shadow side being triggered in a relationship is always an opportunity for learning about yourself, about how you are in relationships, and about how you can be better. And it does often go with a need to, there needs to be something that often needs to be forgiveness. If you want to go back into a situation that's been difficult, there needs to be forgiveness on both sides, so that you can then move forward positively. If you want that, we're not always ready to forgive and learn, but this card is saying, as you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moment. So maybe it's about what I was saying about letting go of all this doubt, fear, insecurity. Cycles and patterns that have been in the situation before, to move into something that's more planned, more solid, more concrete. It might seem like a bit of a risk, but that's, I think, where your person is at now, where you might be at somewhere different, really, and it's up to you to make the decision for yourself whether that you feel this is a situation that's meant to be. Because like I say, we always have free will in all of our actions. But anyway, pile number 1, that's been your reading. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now. Hey, pile number 2, and welcome back to your reading. So today's reading is, are you meant to be together? What does the future hold for this situation? Now, obviously, this is a general reading. You've chosen to come into the reading on this card that says Limbo, and underneath it says seek clarity on mixed signals. So that might mean something to you already. Let's put that up there so that we know we can see it. And it also came in on the blue lace agate. And I'm just going to move the red jasper from our reading before. So we've got some clean energy. Yeah, so it's a general reading. It's a timeless reading, so it's good for whenever you're finding it. So just take the messages that resonate. If they don't resonate, you don't have to take them. Also, as I said in pile number 1, it's up to you to decide whether you are meant to be with the person. I'm hoping that whatever information I give to you around the general energy of the situation and what is coming out going forward, that's going to inform you better. It's going to give you a better sense of, what's going on in the situation and what's coming up for the situation, and then you can decide that. Because we have free will, and even if we think we're meant to be with somebody, we can change our situation at any point and at any time in our life. We direct our life. We are the directors of our life, nobody else, really. So let's get straight to it. So, let's find out. First of all, what I'm going to do, actually, before I do that, I'm going to actually just get another oracle card on sort of generally what's going on. I'm just going to ask the question, are you meant to be together? So is pile number 2 and their person meant to be together? What does the future hold? Please come and have a general guidance about that. Oh, I feel that one's coming out. What does this one say? Embrace friendship. So with the Limbo here, and with the friendship card, so maybe you are currently in a situation of possibly, the Limbo here, you know, you're not sure one way or the other how this situation is going. You're not really, you're in a, you know, like it says, it's in a mixed signal. So you could be with somebody and you don't know where you stand with them, or it could be that you are in a period of separation with this person and it's a state of limbo, because again, you don't really know where the situation is going. But there's something maybe here about needing to work on the friendship underpinning the relationship, maybe. So something about you working together more, to, because every relationship, really, a really long-standing, long-term relationship, has usually the basis of a firm, you know, the firm foundation of a friendship underpinning it. So maybe there's some kind of message here, in here, like that for some of you. But anyway, let's see what else we've got. I might have, let's start here, let's go with this one. So yeah, because we've got these two people and, you know, they are communicating, they're connecting, they're getting to know each other, they are... So maybe for some of you, it's, you know, you haven't quite... You could actually be in a friendship with this person, and you're just wondering whether there's a, you know, something like a better connection, or a more, you know, a more romantic connection coming into it. And maybe it's about still sort of saying, look, you know, at the moment, just still work on the friendship side of things, because that's what's really important at the end of the day. That's what keeps a long-term relationship going, having a firm, strong friendship as a foundation for it. Yeah, maybe with the mixed signals here, you know, seek clarity on the mixed signals. If you're in a situation where somebody's giving you mixed signals, maybe it's about you sort of taking a step back and saying, well, let's just keep it as friends at the moment. But anyway, let's see what's going on in the general energy for pile number 2 and their person. So this would also sort of tell you whether this is the right pile for you. I'm just going to get some cards and what's the general energy. Yeah. Thank you. I just want to say thank you to everybody as well who subscribed, shared, liked, comments. I just want to say I do read every single comment that comes through, and I try to acknowledge every single comment because it means a lot to me, and I really, really am so thankful for all the support I've got. So I just want to say a big thank you for that. Anyway, so for pile number 2, what is the general situation? So we've got the Queen of Cups. I was a bit tongue-tied in pile number 1, and I seem to be a bit tongue-tied in this pile. And I wonder if it's just some of the piles today. Some of the people are just a bit. Some of your people are just are not able to express themselves, or there's something around expression maybe with some of the piles today. Let's just see now. What is the general energy between pile number 2 and their person? We have the moon here. Now the moon came out in pile number 1, so if you felt drawn to pile number 1, you might want to look at that one. Okay, what's the general energy between pile number 2 and their person? The world. Okay, what's the general energy between pile number 2 and their person? At the moment, the 9 of Cups, right. Okay, so what's the underlying energy here? The 7 of Swords, right. So there's definitely this kind of feeling. Yeah, I mean, I know what I can see now why we've got the limbo and seek clarity on mixed signals, because this row of cards around the general energy of the situation is a sort of a mixed signal here. Now with the moon and with the 7 of Swords, there might be something secret, clandestine in this situation. The moon is also all about confusion and not being clear. So I'm getting the sense that for you, there is, for you and your person, and maybe for you, pile number 2, there is this kind of there's this confusion, and that's why you're asking, you know, are you meant to be together? What does the future hold? Because the general energy is one of confusion, but also with the 9 of Cups here, sort of a wish fulfillment. So I feel like, on the one hand, maybe your person is giving you lots of indications that they really like you with the Queen of Cups, and with the 9 of Cups here, that you are a wish fulfillment, that you bring absolute happiness and joy to this person, that they care very deeply for you with the Queen of Cups here, that they see you in a very loving way, in a very caring and a very nurturing way. But it could be that the overall energy is the 7 of Swords, and it's like maybe it's a situation that you're in that's secret, maybe it's a 3-way situation, maybe it's a situation that requires some kind of deception, because that isn't what the Seven of Swords is. A card of trickery, really, or doing something in a clandestine, secretive kind of way. So it could be for some of you that is the case, and that's why. So sometimes and that might be why you've got these mixed messages and this kind of like confusion, really, because maybe you are in a situation where you're having to share your person, or they're having to share you, or something like that. But there is also this feeling of that you are a wish fulfillment, that they care very deeply for you. And it could be with the World card here that there is a long distance connection here, and that might be why we have the Limbo, that there's a long distance and it's difficult to, when you're in a long distance relationship, it's, communication becomes a lot harder just generally, doesn't it? Because, you're not seeing each other very often. Obviously you can communicate through social media, but it's not quite the same as being with someone. So, there might be some confusion there. There's also some doubts and some fears here as well with the Moon card here. So maybe somebody has some doubts, some fears. Maybe there's a lack of trust as well. With the Moon card here, that can talk about deception. We've got two cards that talk about deception here, with the Seven of Swords and with the Moon card. So maybe there's a lack of trust, or maybe there's a situation where trust is being broken in one way or another. But there's definitely this kind of, the World talks about endings and new beginnings, or a completion of a cycle. So my sense is that they're, that on one level they might be saying they want a new beginning with you, a new cycle with you, that you bring them happiness, that you bring them wish fulfillment. But yet there is this doubt, this fear, this sort of lack of trust here, these mixed signals. So there's a definite issue around trust, and that might be why we have embrace friendship. Now the 27 card is about 9, it cancels down to 9, and 9 again is the ending of a cycle and the completion of a new beginning. So there might be something at the moment in the situation where you need to maybe take a step back and just build on the friendship, build the foundations of the situation. It could be something like that. Or maybe that it's a crush situation and it has to stay secret, it has to stay hidden, it can't be up front and open, and that leads to a lot of confusion. Or maybe it's a friend, where you have these feelings for them, and you're wondering whether the situation is meant to be more than just friendship here. What I would say is that there is certainly feeling and love in this connection, 100% with the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Cups here. But there's something here that means it's not clear. It's hidden, it's in secret, it's called trust is being, the trust is being tested. So maybe there's a message around taking a step back and just keeping it on a friendship level for now, really. But anyway, let's see, what does the future hold? Let's have a message card for pile number 2 and their person. We have pile number 2 and their person. So many things remind me of you. So maybe you've been with this person and something has happened in this situation. Somebody has done something, and you're actually in separation from this person because of the Moon card, because of the Seven of Swords, and this kind of limbo state. But they're saying so many things remind them of you. It's time for me to heal now. So maybe that's for one of you, maybe that's relevant to one of you, or both of you. So maybe something's happened, there needs to be some healing with the Moon, and again with the Seven of Swords. That together, that can be something that's happened, that's, where trust has broken down, something has happened, or somebody has behaved in a way that isn't quite right. What else do we have here? We both know I am not the one for you. So that would go with the mixed signals here, yeah? Where somebody is feeling, because the overriding energy of it could be that somebody maybe said things to you, or made certain promises to you, but they've now gone back on that with the Moon here and the Seven of Swords, and maybe you're in this state of limbo because you thought that they really liked you because that's what they were saying, and then they've kind of retreated and they've backed off, or they've cut and run kind of thing. But anyway, let's see. So that's the kind of general energy. Let's see, what does the future hold? Let's let's lose this deck. What does the future hold for you guys? Now remember again, you know, it's up to you whether you feel you want to be with somebody. It's your choice. You direct your own destiny. So what does the future hold? Let's just see what comes up, and that hopefully that might inform you. What's the future hold for pile number 2 and their person? We have the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I mean it's funny, isn't it? Because the Wheel of Fortune is the destiny card, really. It's the fate card in many respects. We have the Emperor underneath the Moon. We have the Devil. Again, the Devil card came out in pile number 1. So you might want to go to pile number 1 again if you are attracted to pile number 1. What does the future hold for pile number 2 and their person? We have Judgment. And we have Temperance. Okay, so if what I feel actually is that there are still, with the Devil card here, I think in this connection, and with the Wheel of Fortune here, I mean the Wheel of Fortune is destiny, is fate, it's cycles. I feel like maybe, you know, this kind of connection might be one of those kind of connections where you've gone round in sort of cycles, where you've been together and it's been great, and then you've been apart, and then you've been together, and then you've been apart. So it might be one of those sort of situations where it's gone round and round in cycles, because the Wheel of Fortune can go up and it can go down. So it might have been highs and there might have been lows, and that certainly would go with the Moon, and then the sort of 9 of Cups, where it's really, really high and there's a whole wish fulfillment around it, and they see you as this kind of beautiful, loving person. And then you've got the Moon and the 7 of Swords, which kind of brings it crashing down, really, because it's about deception, confusion, you know, things not being clear, not knowing where you stand, and that would go with the whole mixed signals here. The Emperor shows a sort of detached energy, so maybe your person has been quite detached, quite controlled of their feelings. So, you know, I feel with the Devil and with the Emperor together that there are still, I mean, there's still issues in this situation, really, that you need to be aware of, because the Devil is an energy of something controlling us. We're allowing something negative to control us in some way, whether that be a person, a situation, a substance, whatever. And we're allowing it to take control of us. So I feel like in this situation it might be with the Wheel, with the Devil, with the Emperor, that it's got that kind of high-low feel to it, where you're again, it's got that kind of, it's still got that kind of mixed signal to it. Now the Judgment, interestingly though, is about moving into a better way, really. So I think long term that this situation and this person wants there to be a rising up, a levelling up of this situation, but it's like you almost have to kind of, and that's I think why we got the Embrace Friendship card. There needs to be a step back in order for you to move forward, if you know what I mean. So there needs to be a step back where you understand each other better, where you become friends almost, because I feel like there's probably a lot of attraction and love and what have you in this situation, and like a lot of highs and a lot of lows, but sometimes when you're in those kind of intense situations, it all feels very exciting and fantastic, but you know, it's missing the kind of groundwork, if you like. And I think what it's saying here is that there needs to be more embracing of a friendship, where you kind of get to know each other in all your you know, kind of warts and all, and you learn to accept and like each other as friends, and then it can rise up and it can be much better and more balanced, because the overarching energy here is Temperance, which is about balance, it's about harmony, it's about bringing things into bringing things into balance again, where there needs to be a lot of mixing and blending. It's kind of like an alchemical process, really, where you need to you know, put all the things in the pot and put them in just the right way. So I feel like, and with the Emperor here, that might mean that there needs to be a bit of a strategy of how to move forward. So I think, you know, there is potential for this connection to move forward and become better and to rise up. And in many ways, I think that's probably a wish fulfillment for your person and for you, for that to happen. But there needs to be some work on negative patterns, some work on anything that's hidden or deceitful or untrustworthy. So any triggering that might be happening between the two of you, where you're bringing out that, again, and it is a little bit similar to pile number one, where you might be bringing out the shadow side of each other. It's about you know, you know, both kind of maybe understanding the shadow sides of each other and still being able to move forward. But it's just about being, I suppose, about learning. It's about learning from what has gone before, with a view to making it better, with a view to communicating better, with a view to understanding each other, with a view to being friends. And I think the potential is there for that. But there's still a lot of work to be done here. I think that's what I'm going to say. There's still a lot of work to be done here with the Devil card, with the Emperor. Certainly, I think your person needs to open up. So it might be that your person is quite closed in their feelings and expressing their feelings, and they need to kind of open that up a little bit. But it does, and with the Wheel here, I feel like it might be, maybe it's a little bit of a karmic or maybe even a twin flame thing here, because although I don't have any obvious cards here about it being a twin flame situation, what I'm getting is there's a lot of highs and there's a lot of lows, and there is a strong pull and a strong connection, but there's like, you have to go through this kind of healing process, this kind of dealing with the shadow, which often happens in a twin flame, where there's a lot of running and chasing, and backwards and forwards. It can often be like that, even though there's a very strong attraction. There can be a lot of triggering, because you're obviously, you know, one soul in two bodies, you are triggering each other, and it can be quite a painful process until the both of you heal and rise up. In the Judgment card, rise up, because you are two healed individuals, and that's when the connection becomes, you know, brilliant. That's when the connection becomes balanced. That's when the connection becomes healed. So I'm sensing, but it can be a rocky road along the way towards that. So I definitely feel, in terms of the question of, you know, are you meant to be together? Well, the Wheel does have a sort of sense of destiny and a sense of fate here. And I think that there is certainly, you know, in terms of the future, I do feel like it will eventually come into balance, and you will eventually rise up and heal. But there's still a bit of a way to go, really, with that. That's kind of what I'm going to say there. Let's get one of these cards out. Let's see. What does the future hold for pile number 2 in their person? What does the future hold for number 2 in their person? Oh, don't let pride get in your way. So maybe someone's acting with pride here. That could be with the Emperor there, where the Emperor is somebody who's very controlled of their emotions, very much in charge, not wanting to budge an inch, really. They're completely in control and not very emotional. And I can just see that. It's funny enough, it's got a similar sort of colouring, hasn't it, really? If you look at this card and you look at the Emperor card. Yeah, there's a lot of gold and yellow in that, so a lot of that about the sort of third chakra, which is all about, you know, empowerment and control and you know, confidence and all of that. So I feel like maybe there's a bit of pride here in this situation. It's saying that might be what's holding the situation back in some way. But let's have some messages now. So obviously, again, it's up to you. You know, you make your own. You know, you make your decisions about your own destiny. But I would say from these cards, yes, it's a hard road. Yes, it's been a rocky road. Yes, there are mixed signals, and I think there's more potential for that as well going forwards. But there's also, I think, an energy around it rising up. Through confronting the shadow aspect of it, confronting everything that's gone on in it that hasn't been right, talking about it, dealing with it, healing from it, you know, getting out of this Seven of Swords, sneaky, deceitful energy, and moving into, you know, getting out of the devil energy where you feel controlled by things that are not healthy for you, that are not right for you. You're moving out of that and into a much better state, and that requires you to work on the friendship of the situation, warts and all, really. do we have here? Oh, finances and career. Financial issues are a factor in your love life right now. So maybe there's something around finances here. Maybe it's a work. Maybe there's a career. So maybe with the Emperor card here, maybe somebody's just really caught up in their career, really caught up in their work, and they're not putting the work, they haven't put the work into the connection in some way because they're so career driven. And that would certainly go with the Devil card, because actually the Devil relates to the sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn is all about career and making it in their career. They're very career orientated. So that might resonate for some of you. And that leads me on to remind you, or to remind myself, to say some of the astrological signs that we have here. So we have obviously with the Emperor, that's Aries energy, and like I said, Capricorn. You've got quite a lot of major arcana in these cards as well. You've got the Emperor, you've got the Wheel of Fortune, you've got the Devil, you've got Judgment, you've got the World, you've got the Moon, and you've got Temperance. So I would say it is a very, very, very significant relationship for you and your person. You know, that's a lot of major arcana in any one reading, really. Okay, so in terms of the Nine of Cups, that is, again, that is... sorry, not again, but that is Pisces energy. The Moon, sorry, that's why I was saying it again, because the Moon is Pisces energy. And what was that one under there? The Queen of Cups. Well, that could be any of the water signs of Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces here. Okay. Is there anyone else I want to say? No, Temperance is Sagittarius energy. Okay, so let's see if we've got any more of these cards for pile number 2. Cards. I think those two might come out. Let's see. So we have, love yourself first. That would go with the whole idea of maybe healing yourself, looking at yourself, both of you, loving yourself. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive. Honeymoon. Enjoy the bliss of holiday time together. And then make the effort. So maybe, yeah, somebody needs to make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. Yeah, maybe somebody here, you know, with the Seven of Swords, with the Devil energy here, you know, maybe you feel like you've been taken for granted, or somebody hasn't properly given you. So, or maybe on one level they, you know, saying, yeah, they really like you, they really want to be with you, that they, you know, you're a wish fulfillment. But on the other hand, they're not really showing that properly in their actions. And, you know, they need to make more of an effort, really. But certainly with the honeymoon, I would say that goes with the Judgment and the Temperance, about, you know, a rising up to a more committed situation. But anyway, pile number 2, that's been your reading. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next reading. Bye for now. Hey, pile number 3, and welcome back to your reading. So today we're doing, aren't we, you know, are you meant to be together? What does the future hold? Now, you've decided to come into the reading on this card, which says abundance, and underneath it says be open to accept an abundance of love. So that's a pretty good sign to begin with, isn't it? So let's see. You also came in under the tiger's eye here, lovely tiger's eye. So what we're going to do is we're just going to get some general cards out for the general energy of the connection. It's also a chance for you to check that it's the right path for you, that it feels right. And then we're just going to do some cards on what the future holds. Now, obviously, in terms of reading of are you meant to be together, obviously that is up to you to make that decision. We are all, you know, we control our own destiny. Even if, you know, we feel like we're a twin flame, soulmate, what have you, we control our own destiny. If we feel we're meant to be with that person, then we make that decision. But this reading will hopefully give you a sense of where you're at and what's coming up for the future, and then you can make your own decision about that. Sorry, I'm just looking because a little message has come up on my computer here, and maybe that's a sign to say that there's a little message coming up for you. But anyway, who knows? So let's get cracking. Let's get straight to it. So I think what I'm going to do first of all, and just to say as well, you know, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed, shared, liked, commented. I do my absolute best to read all the comments, and some of them are just so lovely, and to respond to them and to acknowledge them. So I really, really appreciate that. People have been very kind, so thank you so much for doing that. Also just to remind you, you know, it's a general reading, take what resonates, and it's timeless, so it's, you know, good for whenever you're finding it. But anyway, let's get straight to it. Let's see. So let's have a, you know, what's going on between pile number 3 and their person. Are they meant to be together? What's going to happen in the future? Okay, what does the future hold for them? Let's see. Oh, I've got two. I don't know why. Here we go. We've got befriend pleasure. Ooh. So maybe this is, and especially with the abundance as well, it feels like it's in a very abundant, pleasurable, maybe very sensual as well. Because we've got a peacock here. These are all peacock designs. So I feel like maybe somebody's out on show, or somebody wants to impress in some way with a peacock here. And then we also have this one which says ask for help. So maybe that's why you're having this reading, because you're needing some guidance around the situation right now. This is confirmation that asking for help, getting some guidance in something that's very important, as are you meant to be together? What does the future hold? It's important to get guidance. It's also 23 can cancel down to 5. 5 can be about challenges, can be about upheaval, travel. It can be about completion, risk-taking shifts, that kind of thing. There may be something like that's going on in the situation. 22, that cancels down to 4, and 4 is all about laying foundations, particularly in the material world. Security, stability, that kind of thing. But anyway, let's see. So let's see what's going on here. I definitely think with the peacock, somebody's out to impress, or somebody wants to make an impression maybe in some way. Okay, let's get straight to abundance though. So be open to and accept an abundance of love. So yeah, hopefully lots of love is coming in for you, pile number 3. So are you meant to be together? So let's have a look. What is the general energy between pile number 3 and their person right now? What is their general energy right now? I feel that one wants to come out, which is the 10 of Wands. Okay. Oh, the 9 of Swords. Okay. Hierophant. And the Lovers. Okay. And then at the bottom of the deck we have Death. Right. Okay, so the general energy of this situation, Death is the overriding energy. Well, Death is about, change and transformation. So I think the overarching energy of this is that somebody wants change and transformation, or this situation needs to change and transform, and maybe it needs to be more loving, maybe it needs to be more pleasurable, because we have a lot of the first 2 cards are, there's a lot of heaviness in these cards with the 10 of Wands here. So maybe with the 10 of Wands in this one, so maybe somebody's feeling very burdened at the moment by the situation. They're feeling like they can't take another step. It feels very heavy on one level. And also with the 9 of Swords, that is a lot of worry, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. Somebody, almost losing sleep over anxiety and worry. But the next part of it is Hierophant is about commitment, and the Lovers card here. Now the Lovers can be about a choice, so maybe some of you are in a situation where you are possibly in a 3-way type situation, and there needs to now be maybe it was pleasurable, maybe, because the Lovers card is as well as it being a card of choice in love, where you're making a choice between, 2 people. Traditionally it was that, way back hundreds of years ago, where people of a certain class had to marry somebody that their family wanted, that was going to be good for the family, to move the family on, instead of maybe moving and being with a person that they actually care about and love. And that is the traditional meaning of the Lover. So it can be that the situation is that some of you are in a situation where you're in a kind of like, there's a 3-way situation, or there's choices that are being made here, and it's around commitment. So I feel like there could be that some of you, maybe some of you are wanting commitment, and there's some angst or some issues or some problems with that for maybe your person. Maybe they don't want commitment, maybe they feel bound by that, maybe that's stressing them out. But somebody in this situation wants commitment. It's a serious, significant relationship, and there needs to be change and transformation in the situation. So I feel like, in a way, where it is at the moment is kind of like at a crossroads. And there needs to be a death of the old way to make way for the new way. And I think it's around commitment here. That there needs to be, that somebody needs to make a commitment, and that is stressing someone out somewhere down the line. And I think it might be that, maybe you're wanting a commitment, you're wanting the relationship to be seen as significant. Maybe there's a choice that someone has to make here, but it's around committing to this connection, and that is causing some stress, some upset, some upheaval, and change needs to happen. There needs to be the death of something in order for something new to be reborn, and that is where I'm thinking that this situation is at. If that doesn't sound like your situation, you might need to pick a different path. But what I would definitely say is that with the Lovers card here, this is definitely like a significant relationship. It has a sort of twin flame, soulmate sort of energy to it, but it's got some difficulties. There are some issues here. Certainly with it, it's not plain sailing, and it could be that it's because it's around a choice, and it's, that you are sort of caught in a three-way situation, or a situation where commitment is, or also where commitment is being tested. The commitment of the situation, the commitment of the relationship is being tested. Maybe somebody just wants pleasure from the situation. They don't actually want commitment. Yeah. Okay, but certainly more love. I feel like more love needs to be brought into the situation. But anyway, let's see what else we've got. What else can we have? Let's see. So that's kind of where I think we're at. We're at a situation where this is quite a hard place for you both to be in, or certainly for you to be in. It feels very heavy, very burdened. There's a lot of worry and stress going on, a lot of thoughts, a lot of up in their head. But it's around commitment and making a choice within the situation, or sort of, you're at a kind of make or break. It feels like it's almost like a make or break situation, really, and that might be why you're having this reading. Are you meant to be together? I would certainly say with the Lovers card, it is a significant relationship. Now, in terms of astrological signs, 10 of Wands, that is Sagittarius energy. 9 of Swords, that is Gemini energy, along with the Lovers card as well. The Hierophant is Taurus energy, and obviously Death is Scorpio energy. So those are some of the astrological signs. So let's see. So what does the future hold for pile number 3 and their person? He's going to have some cards. What's the future hold for pile number 3 and their person? Oh, Page of Cups. 3 of Swords. What does the future hold for pile number 3 and their person? King of Pentacles. Okay. And the 7 of Cups. And then the overriding energy is the 9 of Wands. Okay. So what I'm sensing, and that one wants to come out as well, so that's the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, so the overriding energy here is... okay, so I feel, to be honest, in terms of what the future holds, there is still, I think, because I think there's been a lot of hurt in this situation, if I'm honest. I think there is a lot of hurt in the situation. There's a lot of upset with the 9 of Swords, a lot of stress. And it comes right under the 3 of Swords. So I think in terms of what the future holds, there will be a need for healing, 100%, because we've got this 3 of Swords here, which means somebody has been heartbroken in this situation. Somebody has been really hurt in this situation. But around that hurt, there is the Page of Cups and the King of Pentacles. So there is certainly a desire with the Page of... there may even be a desire for an apology in some way. So if this is your person has caused this separation, this angst, if they've chosen someone else, if they've not committed to you, there's an apology, I feel, about that. They want to come forward. The Page of Cups is like a new beginning. It's like somebody wanting to kind of like give you a message of love. So maybe and that might be why I had the message at the beginning there. So some sort of message that they want to give to you, some kind of apology, something like that, around this heartbreak issue, around this loss, around this upset. And with the King of Pentacles, is that they want something solid and stable with you. But we still, your person might also be a little bit of ditherer. There might be a little bit of a mixed messages here, because we also have after that the Seven of Cups. Well, the Seven of Cups is all about dreaming, it's about choices, it's about options. So my sense is, and with the overriding energy being the Nine of Wands, that it's still quite a challenging situation. So going forward, it's still a challenging situation. And if there are other options and choices, as much as they want to apologise to you, as much as they know that something has hurt you, as much as they want to build something up with you, they're also sort of still dreaming and wishing and hoping maybe. You know, I feel like commitment is still, even though you are a very significant person for them, 100%, because you've got the Lovers card here, the commitment, even though they've got the King of Pentacles here, and they kind of want to, they kind of want to on one level build something up with you, because it comes right under the Hierophant, this King of Pentacles. They want to be solid, but they can't. My sense is that they can't quite do it, because we've got these kind of mixed messages going on here, because we've got the Seven of Cups, which is all about daydreaming, dithering, looking at different options, not being able to choose, which again comes under the Lovers card, which is all about choices, making choices in love. And then we've got this kind of Nine of Wands, which is being defensive, guarded. So I'm sensing here, if I'm honest, and then underneath that you've got the Ten of Pentacles, which is this card of commitment, of being committed, of having a solid foundation of. So I have to say that in terms of the future, I feel that if you're getting mixed messages now with them, then you're going to be getting mixed messages from them in the future. That isn't to say that they don't care about you, because they do, here with the Lovers card and with the Page of Cups here. But in terms of commitment, I think this person will oscillate. They'll go backwards and forwards. So when they think they've lost you, they'll come back, they'll say that they'll recognise that you've been hurt, they'll give you an apology, they'll say they want to have commitment with you, but then they'll still be, you know, after you've settled it for a little bit and you kind of get back on track, then they'll still be wondering about whether they've made the right choice or not, because you've got the Lovers card with the Seven of Cups underneath, which is choices, dithering, not being completely sure. Then you've got this kind of guarded energy, and then you've got this Ten of Pentacles energy where it's all settled and fine again. So there might be a lot of toing and already been a lot of toing and froing in this situation. That's why you've got the Death card, because that needs to change. That needs to change if this situation is to change, really. And I'm feeling, if I'm absolutely honest, from these cards, that your person is still oscillating, is still going to and froing for the future as well. But the Lovers card is a soulmate twin flame energy. You know, it has got a very significant energy. So in terms of whether you think that's enough to say to yourself whether it's meant to be or not, but I feel that this shows a mixed energy towards commitment to this connection, but not a mixed energy towards feeling for the situation, because I think they definitely feel for you emotionally, but it's about whether you you know, it's in terms of their, but you know, that they wouldn't necessarily, I don't think, if I'm honest, be able to commit fully to a concrete, solid, monogamous, one-on-one situation here. Not for any length of time. They might come in and out of that, really. That's kind of what I'm feeling. But in terms of astrological signs, Seven of Cups, that is Scorpio energy. King of Pentacles could be Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Three of Swords, that is the Libran energy. And Page of Cups, that could be any one of the water signs of Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Nine of Wands, that is Gemini energy. And Ten of Pentacles, again, is Virgo energy. So we've got, well, how many times have we got Gemini coming up? We've got the Lovers Gemini, we've got the Nine of Wands for Gemini, we've got the Ten of Wands. No, sorry, not what am I talking about? Sorry. Nine of Wands is not, Nine of Wands is Sagittarius energy, Sorry about that if I said anything else. I just wanted to check on Gemini, really. Right, okay, so let's see what else we've got. Let's have another one of, let's have one of these ones. What does the future hold for pile number 3 and their person? does the future hold for pile number 3 and their person? No. What does the future, that one there? Or 2. Okay, so this says, so we've got 2 coming out. We've got new moon in Libra, which is a new romantic cycle. A new romantic cycle begins, new moon in Libra, that's that one. And then we've got it's time to take action, new moon in Aries. So new moons are all about wiping the slate clean. So maybe you're in separation from this person, like I said before, the Death card. And with these 2 here, maybe there's a separation in this situation, or you've been apart from this person in some way, and that's causing angst and upset and heaviness. And with the Death card here, and I feel like they are, with the Page of Cups, wanting to come back. And it's time to take action. Maybe they're feeling like it's time to take action. But I think for me, what's standing out is this thing of cycle. A new romantic cycle begins, because I do feel that's kind of all over your cards, where it's in cycles. So maybe this person, like I say, sometimes they come forwards and they seem committed and they seem like they want to be with you, and they do want to be with you. They do have feelings for you, but at the same time they then pull back because they can't cope with that on an ongoing basis. And that's why we have the cycle here, because that's what happens with cycles. You go up, you go down, you go up, you go down. And that's what I'm feeling, if I'm honest, in this kind of spread here. Obviously Libra might have mean something to you, and also Aries. Let's see if we've got any messages here from pile number 3 and their person. So it's really about, you know, whether you feel, I think, from this, because I don't see those kind of cycles ending kind of long term, really, from this particular spread. Okay, what does this one say? Very soon, clearly decide what you want so that it comes to you now. So maybe there's a thing about you needing to decide whether you want to continue on in these kind of cycles, really. Because with these 2 cards, it says abundance, be open to accept abundance of love, befriend pleasure. And then underneath you've got ask for help. So I just feel like it might be that you come together, it's all very loving, you have a great time, it's, you know, they apologise, they say they're going to commit, and it feels fantastic, and it's that cycle. And then there's a withdrawal, really, in some way, because maybe there's a possibility for some of you it's a kind of freeway thing, or it's you know, they can't cope with commitment in some way, full-time commitment. And so now you're in this period of separation, and very soon they're going to come forward with this, you know, this new romantic cycle. They're going to take action. They're going to, but it's telling you to maybe make a decision about whether you want to begin that cycle again. Healing of family issues, your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. Maybe there are some cycles in this situation that go way back that some people are reacting to in some way. It's influencing the connection. True love. This is the romance of a lifetime. Well, that would go with the Lovers card here being a soulmate twin flame energy. So maybe this is, you know, a relationship which does have that soulmate twin flame energy. And sometimes twin flame energies can be, you know, a lot of backwards and forwards energy, a lot of, you know, runner and chaser type energy, until you both kind of elevate and rise up and heal separately, and then come back together. But I'm just going to have one more, I think. What does this one say? Let's have one more, maybe 2 more. Okay, any more messages for pile number 3 and their person? Are they meant to be together? What does the future hold? Girl talk. Time with friends, moving on, happily single, living in the moment, having fun. Now that might relate to some of you to ask for help. So maybe there's a need, if you're in separation or you're not sure about this situation, that you need to talk it out with some friends, with some close friends, somebody that you can really trust and rely on their advice and guidance. And maybe that's why we've got the ask for help here, you know, to get to talk to people that you trust, to get their take maybe on the situation. Obviously you decide for yourself. It's always good to share, isn't it, to talk, to open up if it's a tricky situation for you. Okay, pile number 3 and their person. What does the future hold? Are they meant to be together? Sunglasses. Watching, looking, stalking, gaslighting, perception, focusing out. So maybe, just to be aware, if somebody's behaving in ways that haven't quite been right, it could be that somebody's kind of just keeping an eye on you if you are in separation, that somebody's just looking at you, somebody's just curious about you. But certainly if somebody's behaved in ways that are gaslighting, stalking, or there's any of that going on in this situation, then that is not a situation that anyone should be having to accept. So I'm really hoping that that's not going on for you, pile number 3. But I'm just going to have one more to end this situation. Let's see, one more to end the reading. Okay, one more message between pile number 3 and their person. Is there a future for this situation? What does the future hold? Are they meant to be together? I feel like that one wants to come out. You came closer than anyone. You came closer than anyone. Okay, pile number 3, that has been your reading. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please do hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and I will see you in your next reading. Have a great day. Look after yourself. Bye for now.